too.
Are we supposed to be on at 7:45? What time are we supposed to be?
Yeah, so we're a little early, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and hit the music, and we'll get this thing rolling.
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen?
Wrong sound bank. But we're early, so it doesn't matter. That's what you get when you're early. Sometimes you get the good stuff. Sometimes you get the mistakes. So welcome in everybody who's listening early to the first 30 seconds. Welcome in everybody to another episode of the WTH Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Glad to have you aboard, no matter where you're listening, watching live, or anything like that. Glad to have you in. Very excited that we are back for another week of show, as it were. Interesting times we live in, aren't they?
Man, tell me about it.
So much going on. Kareem's job, fully eventful. Jason's children fighting, fevers? Every time I talk to you, one of your kids has a fever.
Well, I mean, just for this last week, right? Yeah. So.
Right.
Yeah. They're all fever free now,
okay.
So everybody seems healthy so far.
Fantastic. That's a good thing to be.
The funny thing is like I started taking them to the playgrounds, and like this is what happens, like because it wasn't COVID. Like it definitely had to have been like the only place they ever come in contact with other people.
Right. Do me a favor. Make sure your microphone is fully plugged in the back of the mic and into the computer. I'm hearing a little crackling, so I just want to make sure we are good with that, because I think that's what that was. There, it's gone. It's all gone.
So you did it.
Yeah, fully fixed. Just had to shove it in a little further.
That's what she said.
Exactly. Coming up on the show today, Elon Musk's dad is not pleased with Elon. It explains a lot about why Elon is like Elon is. Jon Stewart takes Ted Cruz to task. And today was the Major League Baseball trade deadline. It got pushed back because of everything with the collective bargaining agreement, the season starting later. So instead of end of July, yeah, end of July, it got pushed back by like 3 days. It's weird, but a lot of players on the move. So
a lot happened with that today.
It really did, and I would advise everyone, if you have not yet, go ahead and jump on the San Diego Padres bandwagon.
Yes.
The San Diego Padres bandwagon. Jason, burn that Oakland hat and get yourself a lovely brown and yellow Padres hat. Because
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think the A's traded one of their best players.
Oh, yeah. They traded Frankie Montas.
Yeah.
And they had already traded Sean Manaea early in the season to San Diego.
This is more of an homage to my period of time where I, was a diehard fan.
Sure.
Than rather me being a current fan.
Yeah, the Padres, man, they got Juan Soto and Josh Bell from the Nationals. Juan Soto, one of the best players in the league and has been for 3 or 4 years now. He's 23.
Yeah.
And still under team control for another couple seasons. And he is going to be a Padre. And they got rid of a few prospects, but they got him. They got Josh Hader from the Brewers. They got
Jim Brewers.
the Jim Brewers. Yes.
So what did the Padres build it up and tear it down every 5 or 6 years?
What sort of? I mean, their general manager is very big into making trades, and what they did was they built this really kick-ass farm system. They drafted really, really well, and now they have a fuck ton of players that they can trade, and they have been doing it for the past 3 years. They've been trading players like Fernando Tatis Jr. came to the Padres in a trade for, I believe it was James Shields got traded to the White Sox. That's how they got him. So
Gotcha.
it's not all established superstars. It's young players too. They were able to unload Eric Hosmer's contract to the Red Sox for a prospect. So they're getting prospects back too. It's not just, oh, we're going to it's not what the Yankees did, for instance.
Gotcha.
So it's going to be interesting. The Dodgers are the team to beat in the division. And the Giants sort of waved the flag a little bit by trading off a few players. No major players, but traded a couple of depth pieces to the Mets, a couple of the Mariners, and sort of a sign that they're like, yeah, last year was great. This year, we're probably not going to win. So let's go ahead and make these moves right now. My team, very interesting trade deadline moves. They traded one of their young outfielders to the Phillies for their top catching prospect, which it's a bummer because it was one of my favorite young players. It was his first full season in the major leagues this year, so he's gone. And they traded Noah Syndergaard, who they signed for 1 year, so that made sense. And then the closer that they re-signed for 4 years, halfway through the season, they traded him to Atlanta. Said, here you go.
Yeah.
It was mostly a salary move because it takes $51 million off of their books over the next 4 years. So a lot of that across baseball, but kind of an interesting day. But before we get so that's the baseball. Get that out of the way. I know Jason doesn't care.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was a quick breakdown of.
Like I had a boner earlier, and now it's gone. So baseball statistics, baby, or baseball facts and knowledge and information.
It was just trade deadline stuff. People being uprooted and told they have to go somewhere else. It's kind of what it was.
Yeah.
Trading people like property is what it really is, because they kind of are in the grand scheme of things when it comes to sports. Oh yeah, before we get to what you want to talk about, Deshaun Watson. Speaking of sports, interesting penalty handed down. We haven't heard yet if the NFL is going to appeal, but
The NFL needs to appeal.
well, here's the problem with the NFL appealing. This was the first case where they agreed to this independent third party making the decision.
She made a shitty decision.
Well, I don't disagree with you, but here's where it gets complicated. It's not complicated. It just, if they appeal, the appeal goes to Roger Goodell, who's the commissioner of football. So it's kind of not really a fair appeal. So if they appeal, or he can name somebody else to make the decision. That's kind of the call.
Well, she did it based off of the precedent, but she didn't. There wasn't a precedent for anything like this. And I was one in his camp at the beginning of this,
Right.
but there wasn't a precedent for this.
No.
And so,
No. Well,
what you
here's
do if you take the precedent and then you apply it accordingly.
Mhm.
So, Ben Roethlisberger had 3 accusations. He got 6 games, which got reduced to 4 games.
Right.
Zeke Elliott had like 3, and they got reduced. He got 6 games, got reduced to 4 games. So, if you take that, you say 3 divided by 24, you got 8. So you take the 8 and you multiply it by 4, and that's how many games he should have been suspended.
So, and he already missed all of last year.
He got paid last year.
Gotcha.
Because he said he wasn't going to play for the Texans. So,
yeah, 6 games seems light.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. So we'll see how it all works out. But
10 games I would have been okay with.
what I find interesting is part of the ruling is he can only use Cleveland Browns team massage therapists.
Right.
So clearly there's a problem. If you feel the need to write in there that he's not allowed to use a massage therapist that isn't employed by the team, then you know that there is a problem that he has with massage therapists.
And the
So-
thing, and this was the other thing about her ruling is she agreed with everything that the NFL said. So she didn't disagree with anything that they put forward. Like she had no dispute with what they said. She 100% agreed with them. So I was like, okay, so how do you go from 100% agreeing with them, and then they said they want him suspended for 17 games, and you don't suspend him? You suspend him for 6.
Right. It was a weird thing. It was a very weird thing. All right. Jason, I see you're bored by allegations of sexual misconduct and punishment for those things. What do you want to talk about? I want to talk about how Jason has muted his mic.
Are you guys familiar with Aldi's?
The
Aldi's
grocery
nuts.
chain.
Aldi's nuts. I was just gonna do an Aldi's nuts joke, and Kareem called it out. You son of a bitch! It wasn't even my joke. It wasn't even my awesome joke. Chris is the one that made it up. We were talking about Aldi's. Like there was an article about something about Aldi's and Trader Joe's. Anyhow, it was. I thought a funny joke that she said, and you got it, Kareem. So good job.
I mean, you have been leading with that for the past. I don't know, 6,
Well,
8
now you
months.
just have another one to know that to worry about. I talked about
Yes.
Aldi's. or if I'm like, you'll see. You'll get some more D's nuts coming your way. It's not the last you've seen of me.
It's not the last you've seen of D's nuts. That was it. That's what you got.
I mean, let's just I say a lot all the time. I'll just keep
Sure.
my mouth shut.
Sure. Okay, Kareem, what do you want to talk about?
At some point, we have to start taking away people's driver's license
Oh,
Early.
what point is that?
before they start running into the buildings.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, so if you run into a building, you should have your license suspended, taken away, something.
What if the building jumped out in front of you?
If that happened, I could understand it, but when you're like just right in front of it, you just run right into it.
Sorry, we have breaking news. Kansas voters, hold on. Kansas voters overwhelmingly back keeping abortion rights enshrined in the state constitution. That's a projection from NBC News.
Yeah, it was up by 27 points before we started the podcast. So
Yeah, so that's where that is right now. Sorry, I thought that was important.
it was very important.
Yeah, running into buildings.
Running into buildings. Yeah, you and it's a certain kind of woman with usually a nice car.
Right.
So yeah, I don't want to elaborate on it too much because I don't want to get in trouble.
What?
But I had to deal with it twice yesterday. So
It was the same type of woman both times.
same type of woman, same type of car. Two separate incidents.
Well, I'm opposed to the whole thing.
If you double check, make sure you're in reverse. If you need to be backing up, make sure you understand where the gas and the brake are. Don't try to drive with both of them. Like use your right foot on the gas pedal, your left foot on the brake. Don't try to do that. Just take your time.
Enjoy your surroundings.
Enjoy your surroundings. And guess what? When you come out of a parking space, you don't have to gun it.
Well, what if you have to get out ahead of somebody who's trying to pull through?
You just let them go. Just let them go by.
Don't gun it in the parking lot.
Don't gun it in the parking lot right in front of the store.
But what if you think you're stomping the brake and you're really hitting the gas real hard?
Again, in the parking stall in front of the business, you just need to put it in gear, take your time, back out slowly, and go about your business.
A lot of vehicles have assistance with that. Like they beep if someone's coming.
Yes.
You got a backup camera, all of those things.
Especially like some nicer brand vehicles, nicer model vehicles, especially
nice.
Also with changing gears too. Like I know with mine, I have a Honda, you have to have the brake, pressed in order to change any gears at all. So you can't just like accidentally like step on the gas because you think it's the brake because your brake's already on with your foot. So fuck y'all.
Yes. So pulling in to stop. Don't slam on your brakes. Just gently press your brake and stop.
Be gentle with your pedal.
Be gentle.
It's not an 83 Chevy, all right?
It's not a Camaro. It's not a Corvette. It's not a Stingray.
It's not manual brakes where you got to really put a lot of force down.
Yeah.
No.
God damn it. This isn't a 1965 Fairlane. Jesus Christ. What the fuck you think you have here?
Be gentle with it, backing up, and coming in and going out. Just be,
There's no.
Take your time. There's no rush.
They aren't.
There's no rush.
Brakes.
No.
You know where there's no rush. I don't know if I want to name the restaurant, but
ooh. Can I guess? Can I guess their name? You can see whether or not it's right or not.
You can go ahead and guess.
Rouse. That's only funny because it's another name.
It is. It is another name.
I don't want. If you don't want to say the name, I don't want to say the name for you. I know because I read your tweet. I think, or no, I talked to you. We were talking about.
I sent a message. I was very angry at the time.
Yeah.
So it was the day that I picked up the MacBook, and I went to look for this restaurant because we had talked about it, and Leslie said, "Oh, how would you like to go here to get it?" I said, "Okay, good." And I went on, and I could have done DoorDash. There was another option, and then it said, "This link is the restaurant preferred." And I said, "You know what? I'll use the restaurant preferred because then they don't have to pay their fees, or the fees are less, or whatever. There's a reason why I prefer that."
Yep.
So I put in the order, and it says, "Your order will be ready in 35 minutes." And I said, Great. And I head to the grocery store to pick up a couple of items, get back out to the car, and I look and I go, perfect. I'm going to get over there about 5 minutes before my order is supposed to be ready. And I get there, and I walk in the door, and I go over to the pickup area, and I wait behind some people, and I give them my name when the time comes, and I am told, "Oh, we didn't put your order in." And I said, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, your order hasn't been put in yet." And I said, "What?" And she goes, "Oh, yeah, it got busy here in the restaurant, so we didn't put your order in yet, but we'll put it in right now."
Can I ask you a question?
You can.
Because I don't think that this will give away the type of places, like what this is. But was this what type of food was it? Was it like pizza? Was it like American food, like hamburgers, cheeseburgers? Was it like Indian? What type of food was it?
They had pizza and American food. Pizza.
Right. So they don't put in a.
You could say they're famous for throwing a whole bunch of garlic on a little bit of dough, and that's their claim to fame.
So, if you don't put a pizza in until somebody gets there, that's a 20-minute at least wait. It
was not a pizza. Neither of us ordered a pizza.
Oh, thank God. That's good. That's a little quicker.
that was not it. And
because then I'd be like, "Fuck you guys, give me my fucking money back." I'm calling fucking Domino's and I'm picking up there. And you know what? I'm gonna be fucking satisfied for the $10 I spent for 2 fucking pizzas, bitches.
Look, if I wanted to stand around and wait while you made my pizza, we didn't order pizzas, but if I want to stand around and wait while someone makes my pizza, I'll go to Mod Pizza, and tell them exactly what I want on it and
Yeah.
go through the line and then have them cook it up fresh, which is very different than this.
Yeah.
And then she goes, well, would you like something like a drink or whatever? I said, I want
Fucking
my
drink?
food.
A drink? Fuck you. You're fucking like, get the fuck out of here. Take
like-
your drink and shove it up your fucking ass.
I just want my food as quickly as we can possibly make it happen. She goes, oh, we'll put it in right away.
I
And
would tell him I have ice cream melting in the fucking car, bitch.
well, it's not like they care. That's the thing. They don't give a shit. And the real problem that I have is when you put in an order through one of these preferred sites specifically, you tip at the time you check out.
Oh, yes, right.
So I had already given them a generous tip to fuck me.
Yeah.
I said, here is a 20% tip on carryout so that you can fuck me by not putting in the order till I walk in the door. And you wouldn't even have done it then if I hadn't gone up and said, I'm here to pick up my food. And then you're like, oh, we haven't put the order in yet because it got busy here in the restaurant. Oh, okay.
That's the lamest fucking excuse for fucking we forgot I've ever heard.
First of all, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You put out this thing where people can come and pick up food at your restaurant with an estimated time that it's going to be ready. I've got to stand there with my dick in my hand waiting for you to make the food. The people who come in, and this was not.
So
The
wait.
people-
So you've already paid your money,
Mm-hmm.
and they put you behind people who they don't know
yeah.
have money to pay for their food.
Yeah.
Paid
Yeah.
and tipped like I was eating in the restaurant.
Yeah.
No, not like you were eating in the restaurant, because eating in the restaurant, you would have waited to pay until after you ate.
No,
So you
but
could
I
give-
tipped 20%, and
Well, like-
usually that's
No,
a
no.
high amount for
Well, no,
carry.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I absolutely no. I'm not. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So they already had all of this money. They already knew that I tipped 20%, and they said, "Fuck that guy. I'm not going to put in his order till he gets here."
I guess that's what I'm saying. That's what I was just like. The difference is when you go there, you don't pay till the very end, right? And here,
Yeah.
you paid them at the beginning, and they fucked you because you know why? They fuck you when they can fuck you. Now,
Well, right,
you-
because if they fuck the people in the restaurant, they know they're going to lose
Yeah.
the tip.
But
Yeah.
you should. I think that's one of those types of things that you should definitely leave a Google review or something on. I know it doesn't seem like it helps. I'm not saying Yelp necessarily, but the person that manages that place will want to know, because the person that is in charge of the numbers that has to report the finances, who sees the cost of Uber Eats and all those other fucking places, is going to be upset when he sees that they're not giving like. You don't ever want to do that again.
Well,
Like,
that's
you know,
the
like,
problem.
you would-
I didn't use Uber Eats because if I did, then I could go on Uber Eats and leave a review like that.
Yeah.
I use this half-ass monkey fucker thing that they have that I've never heard of before. And yeah.
Yeah.
So
Leave a review. I'm gonna leave a review for you, man. Fuck those motherfuckers.
it is a local chain. We're getting feedback on YouTube that and I agree with this, but again, it was for the family, so it wasn't just me. If you don't start cooking my food till I get there, I want my money back. If I got to wait for you to cook my food, I might as well have just cooked it at home. That's
Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
I would have left a scorching Yelp review. I may.
I think you should.
I may leave what I like to call a red ass bitch Yelp review.
I think you should.
Where I'm just angry. So I will say this to you: if you're thinking of ordering from, I'll just say, let's say it's Meats Roux House and Fap Room, and you're thinking of ordering online from them in Natomas, don't fucking bother. Don't fucking bother. Go somewhere else. Go to Chili's. It's where America's small business happens.
Yes.
I get the.
And my fish and chips was quite mediocre, but that's all right. It's fine. It's all fine.
It's all fine.
It's all fine. All right.
Don't
You know
get
what?
led with-
And I didn't get an apology. You know who got an apology this week? Chris Rock got an apology. Now, I don't know that he wants the apology. But Chris Rock got an apology from Will Smith. He's very remorseful.
The message that came back is that he's not ready to talk.
Oh, hold on, here we go. I gotta go back a little bit. And now it's going to buffer. I feel like I'm back at.
Why didn't you apologize to Chris in your acceptance speech? I was fogged out by that point.
Oh.
It's all fuzzy. I've reached out to Chris, and the message that came back is that he's not ready to talk, and when he is, he will reach out. So
why does this sound like a hostage video? You're doing it on Facebook yourself.
Yeah.
Why does it sound like a hostage video?
Is he doing it live? So is he reading questions as he's doing it? Is this
Yeah, but these are not difficult questions. Why didn't you apologize to Chris Rock that I was in a fog? What do you mean? You were high? What are you talking about? I was in a fog. Were you just so angry that you've lost control of your mental faculties? What happened? Well, I get it in the moment, but I mean, an hour later, after you've been sitting there, just stewing in your own juices, and then you put that out on Facebook, and Chris Rock's like, "No, man, no, fuck off. I don't want to hear about this from you. Now's not the time." Look, if you're not going to apologize at the time when he was giving his acceptance speech, instead of all of that hollering he was doing, if he would have apologized and said something along the lines of, "I'm really sorry. I lost my head. That behavior was not appropriate." First of all, he shouldn't have been there to make the speech anyway. He should have been escorted out of the building.
Yeah, it should have been one of those moments where all of a sudden, like they say, it's just like silent. It's just like, it's just like, oh, fuck.
It was the weirdest goddamn thing. So if you're not going to apologize then, your only apology should be privately and not publicly.
Yeah.
Because all he's doing with this is he's trying to look better. He's not actually trying to apologize to Chris Rock. Because, and yes, he said he did reach out privately, but why are you doing a Facebook Live? Everybody else has moved on from this. There aren't very many people sitting around going, "Man, I gotta hear what Will Smith has to say about that night." Like, come on, man. No, nobody is.
Yeah, he had to have known. He had to have known that question would have been asked, so he should have had a, answer ready that was good to go. But also, like, why is he even talking about? Like, you say, like, like when they ask, like quick answer, like, you don't need to go into like anything about reaching out to his people and like them saying it wasn't time. You just said that we'll talk like. When it's time, we will.
Because if he had did that, then that would have sounded like a prepared answer, and he wasn't trying to sound like he had a prepared answer.
Yeah. Well, he sounded like a fool.
It sounded like a hostage video. That's what it sounded like. It's like, and I've seen Will Smith being interviewed 100 times. He can carry on a conversation. He can take questions and roll with it. So I don't know what the whole point of this was. It seemed really weird. Meantime, speaking of weird, Elon Musk, well, his disdain for his dad is probably not getting any better after the 76-year-old Musk dad essentially called his son fat and said he's not proud of him. Errol Musk went on the Kyle and Jackie O radio show in Australia, telling the hosts he's not proud of Elon for creating game-changing technology, although I don't believe Elon actually created that. He's just he's just the company. And becoming a billionaire, saying, we are a family that's been doing a lot of things for a long time. It's not as if we've suddenly started doing something.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like he came out of poverty and he created something.
Right. And
whoa, hey, whoa. We don't need to see that, bro.
You didn't see it, man.
If you're watching live, you got to see a part of Kareem you're not used to.
The screen didn't go black. You're good.
Errol, as much as said his favorite child is Elon's brother Kimball, whom Errol called his pride and joy.
Kimball.
Kimball, Kimbal. But there's more. After he shaded Elon after being asked about the photos of his son on vacation in Greece, saying, quote, Elon is very strongly built, but he's been eating badly, and urging him to take a weight loss product called, I'm not going to say what it is. He also went on to say he has a fleet of cars, but not a single Tesla.
That's funny.
Fuck that car.
That was in Australia on a radio show, you said?
Yes.
It's for sure his dad, or was
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the guy that married his stepdaughter?
You know, I haven't delved any further into it than he called his son fat.
Yeah.
And said he wasn't proud of him.
Fuck anybody talking to that guy, and then fuck his son. Fuck both those dudes.
Oh, and also fuck Ted Cruz. Jon Stewart pretty
that
much
goes
said
without saying. That goes
pretty
without
much said
saying.
as much.
Yeah, look, I didn't see Jon Stewart. He's actually quite funny. Look, he's talking about the PACT Act, which is a bill I support. It's a bill most senators support.
Oh, hello.
Why'd you vote against it, you
I'm just
jackass?
Apparently. Quite funny. And I'm awfully interested in what Theodore Cruz is about to say about the PACT Act. Go on.
But what the dispute is about is the Democrats played a budgetary trick, which is they took $400 billion in discretionary spending and they shifted it to mandatory.
One thing, what Ted Cruz is describing is inaccurate, not true. Bullshit! This is no trick. Everything in the government is either mandatory or discretionary spending, depending on which bucket they feel like putting it in. The whole place is basically a fucking shell game. And he's pretending that this is some new thing that the Democrats pulled out, stuck into the bill, and snuck it past one Ted Cruz. Now, I'm not a big city, Harvard-educated lawyer. But I can read. It's always been mandatory spending so that the government can't just cut off their funding at any point. No trick, no gimmick, been there the whole fucking time.
And so it's just part of the out-of-control spending from the left.
They want to buy Hunter Biden cocaine, a crack cocaine, and they want to purchase all your pronouns. Be careful. They're coming for your pronouns. It's nonsense.
Okay. You get the idea.
Yes.
The door is not closed on the PACT Act. It's being pushed forward. By the way, I want to point out that the interview with Ted Cruz was a TMZ interview at the airport. And what was he drinking? A Diet Dr. Pepper. And was holding it with the label out toward the camera, just like Sidney Powell did in all of her depositions in front of the 1-6 committee. I don't know how Diet Dr. Pepper feels about this.
But they should have some feeling on this.
They really should. That someone who is advocating the overthrow of government and someone who voted against veterans' health care is not only enjoying their beverage, but proudly holding the label out like they're pitching it. It's like they are implicitly tying themselves to Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm not saying that I wouldn't drink Diet Dr. Pepper because of it, but I'm not drinking Diet Dr. Pepper because of it.
And Rand Paul said that he opposes health care for veterans because they can't prove they got their health problems while serving.
I am opposed to Rand Paul not being bludgeoned by his neighbor because that was the single best story ever. His poor neighbor ended up getting in trouble for that. And every day I just can't help but think, you know,
I would give him bail money.
He had more coming than what it was. But yeah. Oh, want to talk a little bit about a visit to a plantation. A plantation. And this comes from Twitter. And it comes from the Humanity Archive. When people go to plantations and don't want to hear about slavery, this is a 2-star review left, and it reads, "My husband and I were extremely disappointed in this tour. We didn't come to hear a lecture on how the white people treated slaves. We came to get this history of a southern plantation and get a tour of the house and grounds. The tour guide was so radical about slave treatment, we felt we were being lectured and bashed about the slavery. My ancestors were from Sicily and never owned slaves, and my husbands were German, and none of his ever owned slaves. I don't know that I'd be bragging about the Germans. I'm just saying. I am by far not a racist or against all Americans having equal rights, but this was my vacation, and now we're crossing all plantation tours off our list.
Good.
It was just not what we expected. I'm going back to Louisiana to see some real plantations that are so much more enjoyable to tour. Oh, I hate it when they tell me about things that actually happened on the plantation when I'm touring the plantation.
I can't imagine. It's not like it just sounds like satire. Like, I can't believe it's real. I can't believe it's real. It just sounds like satire.
If you visited yourself in 2014 and told yourself about all the bullshit we've seen from the time Donald Trump came down an escalator until today, you would tell yourself, future self, you'd go, future self, get the fuck out of here. You're crazy. You're trying to bullshit me. This can't be true. But yet it is. It absolutely is. And you know how I know? Because it's every day. And go on, Kareem.
They were look, that's not even one of the worst things. They fucking did an Airbnb to stay in a slave cabin.
We had that later in the show, but yes, Airbnb found out about it and went, "We're pulling that."
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like that
they were advertising it as stay in slave quarters. Now the building was used for other things after that, and I don't necessarily think it would be a bad thing to use it as an Airbnb, but don't market it as that.
The caucasities of the that you would think that it would be okay to do it, and then this lady, crazy ass lady,
she's going back to Louisiana. I'm going back to Louisiana to tour the plantations that are much more enjoyable. They don't bother us with all of these things about slavery. This is my vacation.
Wait. Why would you put a fucking plantation tour on your vacation?
Oh, you know. They saw Gone with the Wind once and went, "Ha, look at that." Well, and they're also from Louisiana.
And I visited in plantations, and I knew what I was going there for and what I was going to experience.
Yeah. I mean, I would go to a plantation on a vacation, but it would be in a much different light. These people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Same way I would go to a prison, a camp, you know, like Auschwitz or something. You have an idea of what you're going to see and know, and like, what would you think a plantation is other than that? Like comparative.
I went to the Holocaust Museum. I was not complaining about all the shit that I saw from the Holocaust.
Yeah.
This is my vacation, and this is all very bumming stuff.
No, man, this is making me sad.
I'm kind of sad on my vacation. Why are you giving me a sad on my vacation?
Or you can get outraged like I did and start planning how you can kill Whitey.
Oh.
What is wrong with y'all?
Well, I don't know, but I do know that Alex Jones has a trial coming up.
I am a human supremacist. I am a human supremacist.
It broke my
it almost broke mine. It started flickering. Oh.
That term will be the future war with the robots and the AI. What you're hearing now is the entire future and everything they tried to stop us from doing. Our supremacy will not end with this planet. We will people the stars. We will colonize. We will green dead worlds. We will go interdimensional. We will unlock the secrets of the universe. God has laid them out like Christmas presents for his children. And I am extremely honored to be in the fulcrum and the heart of the fight to bring our race, the human race, in a race for the future. I am honored to be here. And we will break the enemy. We will break the pedophiles. We will break the Satanists because God already sent his own self down here to show us he could do it. God would never ask us to go through an obstacle course he wouldn't go through. And now we're going to go through what Christ did. And we're going to go through it, and we're going to be destroyed, but reborn on the other side.
He's nutty as squirrel turds, isn't he?
I would take the punishment. I would take the jail sentence, the community service, all of that to beat his ass.
Well, let me really reinforce your feeling on that, because he is now filed for bankruptcy with his media company, and here is why he did that.
They lie to the jury in the damages portion and say, I got hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why they do this, so they'll come up with some giant judgment on the already guilty Alex Jones that they hope is too big for us to even get a bond on. Well, once you're in bankruptcy, it's all there in the court, and the bonds for the appeals are half your net worth. Well, that isn't going to be very, very much, maybe $1 million, $1.5 million or something, and they're going to try to claim all this other wealth, but it's not true. So then we will be able to continue on with appeals and the rest of it for years, and we will be able to fight these kangaroo courts. And
So I watched the testimony of one of the parents today on my way home from work. And it was a lady, and she was pretty much clear, and he accidentally ended up in court, so he had to hear what she had to say. And he apologized to her after the fact, although he had went on his show yesterday after leaving court, still saying that they weren't real people.
Right.
And probably is going to do it again tomorrow. And she said
course.
that. And she said that to him from the stand. He is the most despicable, low-life piece of shit human being that I have fucking ever seen. And I put him lower than Donald Trump. And like I said, I would take the punishment. I would take the jail time to be able to beat his fucking ass. I would sit there and wait for the police to come get me.
What if he took his shirt off first? Because you know he's gonna.
Yes.
He's all about that.
I would be beating his ass. I would take it off for. Remember I told you I saw Dusty Rhodes and Ricky Steamboat. Not Dusty Rhodes. It was Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair.
Who just had his last match, by the way.
Yes. Ricky Steamboat beat him out of a three-piece suit. I would beat Alex Jones out of a three-piece suit and leave him naked on his set.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
You gotta
will-
lay a cummerbund over his penis.
No
The stage does not-
burn or nothing.
The state, man, have
I
some
would
respect
do
for that
it.
stage, bro.
No.
Have some respect for the stage, bro.
The
Yes.
InfoWars
No.
stage.
Man, listen,
And
it still
take a
wood.
shit on the
It was,
InfoWars stage after I finished.
man, that was wood that was growing as a tree one time that did nothing to no one. All right, and you are shitting on that tree. It had no
burn it down.
choice.
Burn
It
it
had
down.
no choice.
Yes.
Yeah, burn it down. That's fine. Trees are
Burn
fine.
it
with
all
that.
down. All right. Let's talk January 6th stuff.
Oh,
Guy Riffit. I believe he's the gentleman who went into the Capitol with zip ties.
Nice.
As though he was going to be kidnapping somebody or taking hostages. He got sentenced to 7 years in the case. His daughter has thoughts for what Donald Trump should be getting.
To mark my dad as this horrible person, and then having him prosecuted like this when somebody is maybe even able to get elected again, doesn't seem right to me.
Trump deserves life in prison if my father's in prison for this long.
Fair enough. Done. Agreed.
Agreed.
Moving on.
And all of the FBI. So we found out today that or in the last couple of days, that all of his DOD people, the chief of staff, I think for the Army, they all erased their text message from January 5th and 6th.
Oh, like the Secret Service did.
Like the Secret Service did.
Yeah.
All of them motherfuckers need to be in jail.
Well, you know what? You can erase text messages. That doesn't mean they're gone.
Yes. All of them need to be in jail.
That is a cover-up. That is a conspiracy and a cover-up.
Yes.
It's not good. All right. Now, Louis Gohmert was in Congress on January 6th, and I'm not putting this in because I'm insinuating anything about Louis Gohmert and January 6th, but he's really stupid. And I just want to, he's very upset again because he feels his integrity was impugned.
My Republican colleagues, read these documents and stop making a false claim.
Good luck with that.
Okay, so that's the Democrat.
The gentleman has just impugned our integrity. I would demand that his words be taken down. He is not allowed under the rules to impugn false statements by this side. And as far as PolitiFact and
did you get that part? He's not allowed to impugn false statements by this side. So you can't say bad things about our lies? One more time.
false statements by this side. And as far as PolitiFact and some of those, they couldn't find the truth with both ends.
That's a separate allegation.
You know, but I would like the gentlelady's words to be taken down.
I'd asked his words to be taken down.
No, your words to be taken down.
Violate the rules like that.
God, he's stupid.
No. Your words, sir.
They keep sending him. People in a district keep voting for this guy.
I don't even understand. We just, some places in this country deserve what they get.
Well, it's a district in Texas, and that's what they get. All right. Meanwhile,
Florida.
Florida, land of enchantment and crazy shit. This is Florida Corner.
A Florida man is behind bars on DUI charges for allegedly drunk driving a motorized scooter inside a Walmart, where he nearly struck shoppers and crashed into shelves and merchandise displays. That's according to a police report. Aaron Gregory, who's 39, was busted at around 10 a.m. on Sunday inside a Walmart in Melbourne, about 65 miles south of Orlando. Officers were summoned to the store in reference to an intoxicated male on a motorized scooter. The Walmart security officer told cops that Gregory was haphazardly driving a Walmart scooter down the aisles, running into shelves and displays, and creating a danger for other patrons by almost striking them with the scooter. Gregory was reportedly so intoxicated that he was barely able to stand on his own. Well, that would explain the scooter, right?
Yep.
It had to be transported from the store on a stretcher. His backpack, which was on the scooter's basket, contained an open bottle of Smirnoff vodka.
Oops.
Nice.
Store security cameras recorded Gregory swerving and running into items and nodding off while driving the motorized scooter. He was charged with 4 misdemeanors, including driving under the influence, disorderly intoxication, and possession of an open container of alcohol. He is being held in lieu of $3,000 bond. The Walmart scooter, by the way, which tops out at 10 miles per hour, because I knew you'd be curious, is considered a motor vehicle according to Florida criminal statutes.
Of course it is.
So that is why he got a DUI on the Walmart scooter. Meanwhile, a Florida inmate was charged with punching a corrections officer in the face. Well, she said that she walloped the female victim because she was bored and had nothing else to do. Investigators say the deputy was escorting Jasmine Levesque, who's 23, to a pod inside the Pinellas County Jail. When Levesque attacked, the deputy was taken to a walk-in clinic for treatment. After being read her rights, she reportedly copped the battery, saying she attacked the deputy because she was bored and had nothing else to do, and was already in a couple of fights earlier in the day. Well, of course. Charged with a felony count of battery on a law enforcement officer, she was jailed earlier this month for allegedly throwing punches at a municipal bus driver and getting in a female cop's face and yelling, "I am threatening you right now. Do your fucking jobs, you idiot." Which they did, and she was charged with assault on a law enforcement officer and assault on a public transit employee.
Why does she want to be in jail?
I do not know the answer to that. She was free on bond on a grand theft case, which remains pending. She's been charged with stealing nearly $2,400 in merchandise from an Ulta Beauty store near her residence in Tarpon Springs, which is a Tampa suburb. After police found 87 cosmetic items stashed in her purse, Levesque reportedly copped to the theft, saying she intended to use the stolen goods to beautify herself.
I mean, with the way that some of these stories go, I'm glad that it was her purse that the stuff was stuffed in.
Yes. So either she's running from somebody or somebody that she knows is in jail and she wants to be with them.
It could be, or she doesn't know how to operate on the outside. And at 23, that's really sad.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to laugh because it's Florida, and that's what we do here.
Yes.
So, anywho, I have an update on 90 Day Fiancé for you.
Tell me.
Sure. 90 Day Fiancé veteran George Nava does not need another 90 Day Fiancé because he is now a married man after getting hitched in Las Vegas. But not to the lady from 90 Day Fiancé. That lady he divorced. According to online records, he got a marriage license and tied the knot with Rhoda Blua, and she is taking his last name. Apparently, George and Rhoda got married at a Las Vegas wedding chapel, and then part of their night gambling at the Cosmopolitan Hotel and Casino. Folks who were there said the couple watched George and Rhonda jump the broom, and that foursome went gambling together on the Vegas Strip. Now, George and Roa went on Instagram official back in 2020, a couple of months before he filed for divorce from his first wife, Anfisa, who was part of the 90 Day Fiancé on season 4. They got married in 2017 after being a big hit on the TLC show. They did not have any other kids. However, George and Roa have 2 kids together already, a son named George with a G, he's George with a J, and a daughter, Zara. So congratulations to them.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to your 90 Day Fiancé reality star. I'm sorry. I like terrible reality TV. Not The Bachelor either. Worse stuff. By the way, fully caught up on Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup. Which, if you talk to anybody who's actually done time and is now leading a productive life, they're not thrilled with those shows.
Oh, I can imagine.
They're like, where did they get these people? And I said, dude, it's a reality show. Even reality shows that don't have people who are they just search for these huge train wrecks. That's what makes reality TV what it is. The funny thing about that show is the people who aren't in prison are oftentimes worse than the people who are.
So you're like, yo, take me back, bro. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
Take me back.
Enjoy it on WeTV. By the way, apparently, I'm not sure how this all works, but if you want to stream it, you have to have a subscription to something called All Black, which, swear to God. I swear to God.
The show Love After Lockup.
Uh-huh.
You had to be
yes. All Black. They have some sort of partnership with WeTV for these shows. And like, if you wanted to, I can't go back and stream a show like that on demand unless I have a subscription to All Black or I buy it. So like we caught up on those shows. We were buying the seasons on Amazon Prime. We got to see some of them because of a trial subscription.
Support All Black
to All Black.
you want to support the All Black business?
ALLBLK, All Black.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't matter if it's a Q or a CK, bro. It's All Black.
I seeing that and I go, I don't feel good about this. You know, whatevs, but yeah. Oh yeah, Streamin' Black is what it is. It's a streaming entertainment experience that's inclusively but unapologetically black.
Sounds like a porn site.
Made for us and by us, watch anywhere 24/7. Stand-up comedy, drama, stage plays, romance, documentaries, shows, monogamy, naked hustle. Here we go again, double cross. I need to browse the shows. I'm sorry.
You need to why?
Oh, they have one called For the Love of Jason.
That's right, baby.
Except Jason is a smooth-looking black dude with a beard.
Well, I mean, they had to have somebody play me. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. Marriage Boot Camp, Notorious Queens. Let me find. Oh, that's all black originals and TV. Let's see. Popular. I don't know. Yeah. Obviously, a lot of these things I've not heard of, but yeah.
You should be subscribing to that service and supporting All Black with a Q.
I don't know that we can afford another streaming service. I think that's. That's.
Yeah, ditto.
I mean, I'd be happy to drop Netflix because aside from watching Shaun the Sheep, we don't really use Netflix for much of anything these days. I mean, I'm sure my wife is watching something, but
yeah, I just finished watching The Most Hated Man on the Internet.
Yeah, I watched that last night.
And who's that about again?
I can't remember his name, but he's from here or this area.
It starts with an H and a W, HW. So I was like, how is that?
It's crazy because he was from Northern California, or not Northern California, but Sacramento area.
Oh, okay. By the way, Kareem, if you subscribe to
Hunter
All Black,
Moore.
you can watch the popular show Beyond the Pole. Beyond the. Let me quickly see what Beyond the Pole is about. It showcases some of Atlanta's most famous strippers. Although the series is about strippers, the message is more important. What's your life beyond the pole? And what better person than ex-stripper and now self-made millionaire coach Stormy Wellington, a.k.a. Pitbull in a skirt, to guide the girls to financial freedom. That is exclusively on allblack.tv. Free 7-day subscription to give it a try if you would like.
So yeah, Hunter Moore, and he was, I believe it said that his parents live in Woodland. He was born in Sacramento.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a douchebag who
to the highest of douchestivity.
And he hit at that point like in 2011. Like, probably where I would have been in douche area if I hadn't broken my leg.
Dude, 2011 was prime douche time. Prime douche time.
Yeah. Imagine Noel, but with business sense.
Hey, that's not nice.
Noel has morals.
Yeah, you're right.
This dude had no morals
alone here.
Or scruples.
Right?
None.
Noel may have challenges that he faces, but let's not drag him into this.
Sorry, I should not have brought a name up that I don't want. But there's other stories you guys don't know about that I've been privy to.
Oh, I'm sure.
In the last couple of years of some one that Alex had never told me about how horrible he was and depraved he was. Like, he's a horrible person. He is a horrible person.
Yeah.
Dude's a horrible person. Hunter Moore is also a horrible person.
Horrible person. Yeah.
Just to let you know who I'm. Yeah.
All right.
So anyhow, sorry.
Let's leave the hustle and bustle for small town news.
All right,
Sacramento.
We go from where I live now to where I grew up, the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, where in Derby, Vermont, police are investigating a theft that occurred early Saturday morning. That's right. The incident took place at the Tractor Supply sometime between 9 p.m. Friday night and 7 a.m. Saturday morning. Store employees told police that 2 Coleman 100cc mini bikes and 2 Coleman 196cc mini bike Extremes were missing. They had been stolen from within the store's fenced-in area. Anyone with information on the incident or the stolen property is asked to call 802-334-8881. So if you see any fool out there riding around on a mini bike, report him.
Will do.
Call it in. Call it in.
If you're in a small town, it's fine to call the police.
Somebody stole 4 mini bikes from inside a fenced-in area. By the way, I looked them up because I was curious how much they cost. The two 196cc ones are $800 and the smaller bikes are $500. So $2,600 with about $3,000 with tax.
Yeah,
that's the value there.
It's some money. It's some dough.
The fun on a mini bike though, priceless.
It is.
The big wheels.
Yes.
I was checking around. I was looking. I go, we have Tractor Supplies here. I wonder if they carry them. Because I don't want to pay extra freight to have one shipped. If I'm going to get one, I have to just pick it up. And there was one available. I did not buy it.
You did not buy it?
I did not. It would have been cheaper than this MacBook Pro. I could have gotten 2 for the price of the MacBook Pro. But you can't edit video on a mini bike.
No.
Or can you?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, you can cut film on it, but you'll probably cut yourself too. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the WTH Podcast. Thank you for joining us, everybody, for weighing in and enjoying the show. We look forward to seeing you next time online, whether you download the show, whether you watch it live, or stream it. If you can see us or just listening, either way, we love you. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.